Welcome back to Beards and Brews. Hey, if you haven't already, be sure to hit those subscribe and follow buttons. Ring all those notification sounds. Not only does it help us out, but you'll know exactly when we have another one brewing. Fellas, this week's movie is going to be Crank, and if we stop, we're all going to die.
You gotta stay hyped, brah.
So we were talking about this a little bit before the cast. We all saw this in theaters back in the day, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Correct.
Wow.
Not at the same time.
Independently, alone, we could have held hands like lovers do.
So yeah, this movie was something. I hadn't seen it since I hadn't seen it since I saw it in theaters, and I didn't really know what to expect as far as what I felt about it. It wasn't this though, because I kind of liked it.
Crank can basically be summarized in the idea that you're playing Grand Theft Auto and someone is just recording it, because from start to finish, this is, I didn't want to do the main quest, I'm just going to go fuck around.
Yeah, hell, the movie even starts with like a digital-looking title card. It says Crank. He's got the little 8-bit heart beating and everything. So, from what I can gather after watching the movie, is that the directors, two fellas, they must have, I don't know, played Postal or something. They're just like, other guy, I have the best idea. And then Jason Statham's just like, right, sign me up.
Yeah, but you're right about how this movie starts out. It starts out very much like a video game. It's like, oh, you're awake. That kind of thing. And it's like, all right, where am I? What's going on? My heart is beating super fast, but I kind of feel like shit. What's going on? Oh, here's this DVD to explain everything to me as well as the viewers.
Yeah, and it's super fucking 2000s. I don't want to call it edgy or anything because that gives it clout, but like the DVD just says "fuck you" on it, and it just reminds me of Blade Trinity when we get introduced to Ryan Reynolds' character. He just busts through a window and he just has like a little sticker that says "Hello, my name is ... fuck you."
Yes, but this DVD is starring Bandejo, and his message to Jason Steakems is, "You've been poisoned by voodoo magic, man. Chinese voodoo magic."
Good lord. Like, the movie goes out of its way to explain how Jason Statham can stay alive after being poisoned for so long, but it gives zero shits to tell the audience how it actually fucking works.
Yeah, we just know that it's some high-tech sci-fi Chinese stuff.
And every time he brings it up to, like, a friend or a subordinate or whatever, they're just like, oh, that Chinese shit? Oh, man, that's just bad. Ooh.
Look out. They're giving you the Beijing cocktail.
The Beijing cocktail, yeah.
But really, the plot is that simple. Jason Statham, which we learned briefly, he is like a hitman for hire. It's very brief. He's just poisoned. And the only way that he can stay alive to either get revenge or cured is just to increase his heart rate through shenanigans. That's the movie.
And
Shenanigans.
That's it. Yep. Absolutely, that's the movie.
All right. My biggest takeaway from the first time I watched this movie until now is that fucking weird ringtone that they have, I still hear that to this day on people's phones.
It's just timeless, really, you know.
I would use it. I'm going to look for it.
I have not used a ringtone since probably this movie was in theaters, so yeah, that's just one of us there. So one thing I will say before we get too deep into it, because I want to start keeping track, this movie's got a great soundtrack. We start out with some Quiet Riot and then go into New Noise by Refused. Hell yeah.
I disagree a little bit, because like there are good songs in this movie. Like one song in particular that I totally forgot about, and I had to stop the movie and relearn it on bass. But it's like just songs used, like sometimes almost inappropriately. They're just kind of there.
I'm fine with it.
It's what was on the radio when you stole the car.
Oh, you know what? That's actually hilarious.
Yeah, that's pretty good right there. But you're right about the plot being simple. It is as simple as dude is poisoned. He has to do things to keep his heart rate up, and if he doesn't, he dies. This movie is a one-act play.
Oh, 100%. Like, the movie starts out like, a video game, like we said. It's first person. He's like, oh, I don't know why. Wrong accent. He's been poisoned, so like, what does he got to do? He goes to his buddy's place. He knows the guy that poisoned him. He's like, where is he? Where is he? Like, I'm fucking dying over here. And like, it's just big kerfuffle and everything. And his first go-to is like, boy, got some coke. I fucking need it.
Yeah, he walks into like a black biker bar is what it looks like. I don't know if they're bikers, but And he gets coke, and then he's like, well, I guess I got to keep my heart rate up. That wasn't enough. I guess I'll start a fight.
No. That's not what he said. He said, "Oi, coke's not enough. I've got to beat some black ass." He starts whooping ass.
He screams out, "Who wants white meat?" as he then begins to start a race war.
Race war.
The thing is, like, this guy, this is his friend. Like, he's keeping it under control. He's like, all right, this guy's cool. Put your guns down and everything. He's cool. But then he says that, like, what? Come on, guy.
He was like, "Shit, chill the fuck out, bud. I didn't do this to you. We friends. Give me a little kiss on the cheekbone." And they're like, "Mwah, mwah." And then he's like, "You got some coke?" He's like, "Yeah, but that shit ain't free."
Sometime during the middle of this, he calls his doctor. I guess he and his like underground Goonies or whatever has like a doctor. Doctor's in Las Vegas right at the moment, but he's like, hey, this is how you stay alive. You know, you do all these things. Maybe get yourself some epinephrine or whatever. I'll be home like later today.
Yeah, but unbeknownst to Jason Statham is that like his doctor is in Las Vegas, like you said, in the middle of this brothel just getting fucking manhandled by some hooers.
Hey, listen, it doesn't matter what he's doing in Las Vegas. What happens there stays there.
We're talking about a phone conversation, though. While one man is being manhandled by whores, the other is literally leading the police force on a 2-county fucking high-speed pursuit into a mall and up an escalator.
I loved it so much, the mall scene, because in my mind, I'm just thinking, in Jason Statham's mind, he's just like, oh, they've got baby clothes. Huh, they've got everything.
You're expecting the JCPenney to show up?
Yeah. And then 16 cop cars just like fumble on top of each other. I'll get you next time, Statham.
This motherfucker runs out the back like ain't no one gonna think about it, hops in a cab and makes him crank Achy Breaky Heart. And he starts fucking headbanging to Achy Breaky Heart.
I love the disparity of the situation. Just like that's what he had to like get pumped to.
Just drive. And then he pumps it up, fucking Achy Breaky Heart.
That's a good joke. That is a solid fucking joke.
I really like the fact that his next stop is a fucking trucker pill heist. He just goes into the local 7-Eleven, starts grabbing up all the Stacker 3s and every fucking Red Bull he can get his hand on, and he's just like, oi, I'm gonna get fucking cranked.
I'm gonna go in this place and steal every bit of product placement I can get my hands on.
They got the Rockstar and the Red Bull doubling up.
Ooh, the R&R connection. I dig it.
Did you guys like how whenever he needs to get from A to B really quick, they do literally Grand Theft Auto fast travel? Like if you were switching between Trevor and Michael, it just pulls out and then zooms back down on the next location.
Dude, every time that happened, I just had to shake my head because, like, I get it. This is a low-budget movie. They did what they could. There's some creativity in there, but they straight up used Google fucking Street View, and they did even think to fucking zoom in a little bit so I couldn't see the Google logo at the corner.
Nice.
Oh.
They don't care.
No. But yeah, so next thing on his route, he's taking this taxi to Beverly Hills to this gangster's like penthouse. It's Carlito.
Yeah, you're right. He just rolls up on just very stereotypical Hispanic cartel leader, and he's like, mate, I'm fucking dying. What the fuck?
I'm glad you said Hispanic because you are right. I feel like most people would assume Mexican, but clearly up in the corner of the screen you can see a Dominican flag. That's the investigative journalism you come to Beards and Brews for, right?
God damn it. But he says, hey, give me a fucking cure, bro. And he's like, nah, man, fuck you. There ain't no cure. Get out of my pool, bitch.
Well, you don't have to be so goddamn cool about it. I can't do his voice, not at all.
What do you want me to do? It's Schrodinger's poison. You're already dead while you're alive.
The only thing I will say about Carlito, who up to this point is this very nice mafia lord. I don't know what he is. Yeah. He has amazing teeth, though. Did you see the guy, like the pearlies on this guy? Whew.
Highly contrasted by the tan.
Yeah, I need to know who his dentist is.
Like every time he was on screen, I just couldn't be not distracted just by like what was around him. Like it's always the same thing. The same 3 dudes that are his bodyguards and just like women everywhere in various states of clothing.
It's a pool and bitches and his guys.
Carlito, what did you think about the movie? I didn't see the movie, but I see the teeth that it paid for. He has to go get epinephrine, but the best thing happens, and I lost my shit. Like, it's been X amount of years since 9/11, so whatever.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yes, he goes out to the cab driver and he's like, "Hey, I told you to leave the cab running." He's like, "You're not getting in my cab wet." Motherfucker yokes him out, throws him on the ground, and this is fairly close post 9/11. And he's like, "Al Qaeda, Al Qaeda," and everyone starts freaking the fuck out.
That actually took me aback. I was like, what? That made it in a major motion picture? I was like, fuck.
Once again, just trying to be edgy, I guess.
Oh, 100%. Like, everything in this movie just passes through the filter of, like, early 2000s edge.
It's like everything that every, like, 14-year-old boy that sits on 4chan would love is in this movie.
It's just everything you hear screamed in a fucking Call of Duty lobby. That's what happened.
Oh, you're not even wrong. And they even have, like, super ridiculous injury/kills, because next we get Chef Chelios chopping off old boy's hand, and that shit is so fucking ridiculous in this back alley they live brawl.
Statham's next move is like, well, if I can't get the baddie bad guy, I'm just going to get his brother. He's just chilling in a restaurant. He goes out back, I guess, to do evil deeds as well. And Jason Statham's like, "Oh, I'm right back here, and I'm going to perfectly cut your fucking hand off."
The way it freezes on Jason Statham's face as he whacks his hand off with a meat cleaver, it's just like he comes out and there's a swing and then it freezes for just a moment. And it's that classic, if you guys watch Jason Statham film, he's just got his teeth gritted real hard. The smile is wide and he's like, "Yeah."
The reason that he knew that his brother was around this restaurant or whatever, he got a phone call from his buddy Pedro, who we talked to earlier. And we actually see Pedro again during all this. Like, he starts to come up with like a rolling pin or something? By the end, we just see him sitting there. I thought he was dead, but he's just kind of like in shock, covered in blood, wearing like a halter top.
And how does his fucking best friend treat him? Like shit, he's like, "Here, take this handgun. You want to hold hands?" Like, just fucking throwing dismembered body limbs at him.
So somehow in the middle of all this, he decides to call up Homeboy's brother, Ricky.
It's
What?
Pitbull.
Pitbull? Yeah, it's basically Pitbull. He calls him up and he's like, "Hey, I got your brother's little necklace because he's a little bitch and you a little bitch too. I'ma kill you."
Like, the way he was screwing around with his brother, like, in the alley while I was talking to him, I almost felt like he would have, like, taken his hand and just, like, placed it on his ass. Like, "Look, your brother's being real gay."
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of the dialogue, to your point, Eric, sounds like shit that you would have heard 100% in a COD lobby.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
Or right after a kill, like typed into the chat while you're getting teabagged.
Oh, just
Yes.
owned.
Yeah.
You know, it tease off the guy, like, "Oh, he killed my brother. He's like a step closer. He should be dead already. What the fuck?" And then he calls like we don't know whom yet, but he makes a call, and it's serious now. This is like threat level midnight.
When speaking of midnight, I've got Sometime Around Midnight. That's the name of this beer that I've got from Drekker Brewing Company out of Fargo, North Dakota. Never had anything from them, but so far this looks good. It's got like a velvety golden pour to it. This is 8.0% alcohol by volume. More tropical and juicy than what I was expecting from the nose, but it definitely is what I would call a New England style, a hazy style IPA. Lots of pineapple, peach, mango, things like that. Definitely a double though. You can taste every bit of that alcohol. So it's pretty good though. Very solid.
Speaking of solid, Jason Statham needs a solid lead. Like, he can't cure this fucking thing. So, like, he needs a way to subside it. So he calls his buddy doctor. He's like, "Listen, I need some help." He's like, "Okay, you're going to have to go to the clinic. You're going to have to go to some doctor. You're going to have to find some epinephrine. You can find it in a pen. You can find it in a syringe. You just need a little bit. You know, a little bit goes a long way."
10 milligrams maximum. And all this time, we've seen this doctor a couple of times now. I have been thinking this guy was the guy from Memento, you know, his friend.
Yeah.
This is not the guy from Memento. Do you guys know who this is? This is Dwight
Fuck yeah.
fucking Yoakam. Fucking
Bro.
guitarist, Cadillacs.
Wow.
Dwight Yoakam.
Jeez.
Maybe I'm fast as you.
Hell yeah.
The entire time I watched the movie, I just called him Dr. Gonzo. Because he just reminded me of the fella from Fear and Loathing.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I don't want to give you an insulin pump. I just want to carve a little Dwight Yoakam on your forehead.
So specific.
So he takes old boy's advice. He goes to, it's not even a hospital, is it? It's just like a pharmacy?
Yeah, I think it's the pharmacy at the hospital, like where you would go to pick up your prescriptions.
Oh, okay. And they're like, "No, we can't just give you epinephrine. That's like illegal or something."
I do love the innocence of it, though. He just walks, he's like, oh, I need a fucking EpiPen. And the lady's like, no. He's like, well, why the fuck not? This is the place to get it.
Meanwhile, Dwight Yoakam is not the only music star in this film. I did not remember this at all. Who else is standing there in the pharmacy?
Billy Ray Cyrus.
No.
Well, who? Don't leave me hanging.
Chester fucking Bennington. I saw that and I was like, is that Chester fucking Bennington? Fuck.
Mm-hmm. Like, we don't know why he's in this movie, but we'll go over our hybrid theories later, fellas.
2006 was a hell of a time.
Oh, what a fucking time.
But fellas, what does international superstar Chester Bennington add to this picture?
I wonder if he got paid for that role, because he shouldn't have.
Oh.
He got a SAG award.
Oh.
He ate free at the fucking craft service table.
He's just over there nibbling on all the Lunchables.
He got to hang out with Jason Statham and Dwight Yoakam for a day, and that's good enough for him.
He had more lines with that nasal spray. He's like, oh man, you got to get some of this. It'll get you crawling in your skin.
I kind of wish that Chester Bennington was in a state that Jason Statham kind of wound up in, because, like, yeah, he had some killer information to keep the movie going, but I kind of wanted him to be like, look, try the nasal spray. Just like, he had to, like...
Yeah, but instead they just got him, like, hanging around.
He's just over there like, hi, how's it going? I'm your quest giver today.
I don't remember what triggers the next set of events, but he ends up running through the hospital. That's right.
Parkour.
And he does a little parkour. He ends up in a patient gown, and we run into fucking Dennis from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Very true. But also running into Jason Statham's ass cheek.
The thing about that is, it looks like he absolutely just meant to do that. It's like he lifted his leg up once just to get the camera straight up on his ass. Just once, just to get that in the film.
You gotta get those Jason Stathams in there.
That's just his acting prowess, absolutely. Because he's like, fellas, I know you're directing me around, but this film needs more Jason ass.
He's just like fucking, what's his name from The Room? Tommy Wiseau was like, get the ass. The ass has to be in there.
Dude, I would love to, share a drink with Jason Statham, but, I absolutely convinced myself that, every movie he's in is like, no, this scene needs my ass.
Statham's ass.
So during all this, he chases down these doctors, ER doctors, who have a defibrillator machine. They're trying to save this guy that's having a heart attack. And he uses everything they have there. This ends up stabbing himself with epinephrine. This ridiculous scene where we get Dennis from It's Always Sunny to defibrillate him into the elevator. Get the fuck out of here.
Okay. It's ridiculous, but it's my favorite part of the movie. It's just so well shot, so well done compared to the rest of the movie for some reason. I feel like this was their idea, and the rest of the movie was just built around it.
The idea was this
whole film was that bit.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, the directors aren't Jason Statham, but there's like, okay, we got Jason Statham's ass. Now what?
What if we could get his boner?
And they're just like, fuck it, you're right. And that's what happens. So, he takes Dr. Gonzo's advice and just injects himself with a ton of epinephrine. But, of course, the advice was just take a wee little bit, 10 milligrams or something. He takes, a whole fucking syringe, and he just turns into fucking Doom Guy.
He just turns into fucking Forrest Gump. I just started running.
Yes.
He's just reenacting the scene from the beach.
Yeah, it's a very 90s style, sort of I get SLC punk vibes going in this. Also a little bit of Black Hole Sun's music video, that thing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. In fact, if the scene was kind of shot like Black Hole Sun video, that would have been incredible. Because he's tweaking so hard. He's doing some stupid shit. He's just running through downtown. He winds up seeing himself on television, and some dude looks at his dick. He's just like, I'm going to let you have a nice day, sir. He steals the policeman's motorbike, and he fucks with him a little bit.
Yeah, not to steal it, just to do donuts in the street.
He's doing fucking burnouts, and sparks are flying off the cop's fucking boots as he whips out his cell phone to call his girl and be like, baby, there's probably some people on the way to kill you. Have me a blueberry waffle ready, and I'm gonna need some pussy. And then he just fucking punches the cycle.
I want to say, oh, that's a hyperbole. No, that's exactly what happens.
There's some men coming over there probably to kill you. Probably nothing worth getting up out of bed for, but, if you could make me a blueberry muffin, that'd be great. All right, see you soon, babe.
Passive-aggressive cranked Jason Statham is the best.
man, have a waffle ready for me and my 3-stripe life.
Where did he get that fucking tracksuit? Because he rolls in looking like Nico Bellic from GTA 4.
Exactly.
I mean, any of the shops that sell that particular loadout, like, he can get it anywhere, and it just takes a second of real time.
He straight up looks like he rolled off the boat straight out of Romania. It made me laugh so hard because the movie doesn't explain his wardrobe change. He just has it. He goes to his girlfriend's house. I want to say she's stoned, but I think she's just stupid.
She's real stupid. Through this whole movie, she's just real stupid.
Oh man, it was irritating.
Yeah, this girlfriend is played by Amy Smart, and this is basically Amy Smart's character and everything that she's in, honestly. I remember from, she was in The Butterfly Effect and, like, the Road Trip movie, and she plays, like, the stupid girlfriend and everything, right?
I was having enough of it, like, immediately, because, like, she didn't know how to change the time on the microwave or anything, and Jason Statham comes and is like, fuck, I've got to fucking do this, even though I'm dying. Beep, boop, boop.
It says 3 o'clock. Get the fuck out of the house. Here we go. Purse dump, waffle iron, kill some baddies. What's going on? During all this, the camera is zooming in on her face while she's like fucking Buffalo Bill applying lip gloss.
And she's so clueless to everything around her. Like, you know, Jason Statham starts to slump and he needs some like adrenaline pump, so he decides to burn his hand inside the waffle maker. And she just walks in and is like, oh, did you burn your hand? And like, first things first, I'd have been like, what the fuck smells like Jason Steakems?
Oh, yeah, this whole scene, you should see that something is up, but she's like, you're so on edge. You want some pot?
Good lord.
No, I fucking told you there's men coming to kill us. Why don't you just get your fucking clothes on and we can fucking go? That is not his accent, but that's what I'm doing. You're going to have to deal with it.
I mean,
well.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've always seen Jason Statham as that, like, evil English guy from Pink Floyd The Wall. But anyways, you know, he packs up his shit, including his girlfriend. He's like, let's get the fuck out of here. I had to take a taxi. And she's like, whatever. And they somehow make it to Chinatown. And Jesus fucking Christ, I can't believe what I'm about to say. So he gets in a slump again, and he needs that adrenaline hit. And he's just like, honey, I need some pussy. Make it now.
Yeah,
fucking hashtag save my life.
Yeah, all this time they're getting chased by like little Goonie guys or whatever. He beats one in the face. They avoid another when they make it to Chinatown. They sneak up on him. I remember there's a montage that involves a very serious pigeon. I don't know.
Oh, dude, that made no fucking sense. They zoomed in on his heart. I'm just like, why? Did this movie need to be exactly 1 minute longer?
But he just keeps huffing this nasal spray, and she's like, what's going on? You're so, you know... What? I think I'm gonna have the wonton beef or what, I don't know.
Yeah.
He's gonna have her beef.
No, absolutely. Like, after he, like, dispels the whole thing, he's like, you know, oh, I'm a contract killer, but I gave it up all for you, baby. I know you're stupid as hell, but, like, fuck. And, like, they just start, like, banging in the middle of Chinatown, and you think, like, oh, she understands, and, you know, she's doing it for the greater good. And, like, no, Jason Statham starts to make a move, and she's like, no, fuck no, and almost knocks him out.
This is one very unfortunate year.
This
is very clearly the R word, at least to begin with.
This is James Bond sex. 20 no's and a yes means yes.
Oh,
I like how the movie tries really hard to cover up the R word, for lack of a better term. And like all these, like, I don't want to say like tourists and locals, they're just like, oh, wow, it's just like Animal Planet.
Yeah, this is right outside of a restaurant in Chinatown, Los Angeles. A bus full of Chinese schoolgirls have shown up, and they are just gawking at the entertainment.
And Jason Statham going to town, I've got your big treble right here.
Right for your little China. I fucking love it. He does it. He's like, I'm alive, as he's just rocking that shit. She's into it. She's loving life at that point. And then he gets the call that says, hey, man, it's me, Dwight Yoakam again. Just let me know you're going to die. And that bad guy you're looking for, he's over here. And he's like, hang on, let me put me cock up.
Yeah, he turns it off immediately. He's just like, click, okay, I've got to go. And she's just like, what?
She's all pissed off, like, what are you all looking at? You're so gross. You the one fucking in the street, girl.
She tries to cover herself, but too late. I've seen everything.
Does she try, though? Like, she puts, like, one strap on her dress up, and that's the most clothes she is for the rest of the movie.
Yeah. At this point, I was just like, yep, this is the movie that 14-year-old me would have probably made.
I mean, I can't deny. Yeah.
You don't understand.
Now,
We have
not
Jason
only-
Statham's ass and plenty of titties. What more does a movie need?
There's some gratuitous titties in here too. Sometimes you'll just walk into a place. Like, I understand, that's how mobsters are, I guess. Actually, I don't know. But like every single mob lounge or patio or whatever that they wander into, there's just titties. Is that how life is for these people?
Just wait till we get the end and see all those ball bitches. Classy.
If you are a mafia boss and this is how you live, leave a comment down in the comments.
We're not
Yes.
narcs, we promise.
We just want to get in on it.
We need to ask Steven Seagal how to get about that life, because there ain't a film that he's going in that ain't full of some titties.
It's true.
I think it's something about going to Belarus and eating a carrot, but I don't know. A little hazy on that
Is it a carrot?
Look,
I thought
if-
it was like 6 penis wine or something.
one.
That's what he's into, right? Like the Chinese, like 4 penis wine, 5 penis wine. I assume there's a 6 penis wine too.
What do you know about penis wine?
Is it like a rosé? I don't know.
Here, take a snort of this dear penis.
Oh, fuck.
Next thing that happens is he gets a call from Pedro and is like, hey, Ricky is over here. You should come over here. And he's like, okay, I'm coming over there. Oh, shit, it's a trap.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's just like, you telling me he's just right there with you? It's not a trap? He's like, no, bro. Totally not a trap. TM.
Yeah, but I love
Damn.
on the taxi ride there, he's starting to fade out again. And you're right, the taxi driver's like, you're not going to die on me, crackhead. That's not his accent at all either. This is like a Jamaican guy, but he's like, I got this Haitian shit. It's hardcore. Here, drink it.
It's made from fucking plants. Quote that guy.
Fucking plant shit.
It's vegan approved, and he fucking chugs it down. Then goddamn Thomas Jane rips the door off the taxi. He's like, you're under arrest, vegan police.
Yeah, milk and eggs, bitch.
Yeah.
And the movie takes like a weird moment of him like tripping balls, but like it kind of contradicts the whole crank thing. I think they just needed a way to get from point A to point B, even though they could just fucking Google zapped over there.
That's all this movie
100
is. It's a series of point A to point B and some kind of mischief
Fuckery.
going on. Some fuckery.
Fuckery indeed.
Some rambunctiousness.
Okay. Now, what happens to Pedro is so out of context in this movie. There's been a lot of killing in this
Yeah.
movie so far, but it's always been comical. All of it. It's been over the top, fucking eccentric, goofy, weird shit. Pedro gets killed, and it's like fucking a little bit of the old ultra violence.
Yeah, it almost felt like a kill from Goodfellas or something, just like extra violent. You're like, oh shit, did he deserve that? I'm gonna point to fucking no.
Yeah, if I was voting for anyone to get killed like that in this movie, I would not vote for Pedro.
You did it. Pedro can't smell anything with that bag over his head, but Jason Statham can, and he smells a trap, so he scurries up to the rooftop, where we get a moment of this random baddie on the phone. He's like, yeah, I'm doing my shit. What's your problem? And Jason
Oh, yeah.
Statham runs over and he goes, tell me where Pedro is. And he's like, I didn't vote for Pedro. And he says, ding, time's up, and chucks his shit off the roof.
My single favorite line from the movie, he said, ding, time's up. And he says, what you mean, ding?
Yeah.
And as he's falling, what you mean, ding? Boom.
All right, so he gets down to the little bad guy lair or whatever it is. We get a little bit of exposition. There's been some trickery. Carlito was there, and Ricky's gonna get his, but Carlito just wants you off the street. So that's why we're gonna kill you.
It's just it
All
was like
right.
a weird moment, right? Like he's like, clearly like everybody in this room's gonna die, but there's like this weird like back and forth before it happens, and then like his girlfriend shows up again, and I totally thought she got captured too. Like they just came up the service elevator just to be like, hey, we got her too, don't do anything stupid, then proceeds to do something stupid.
How did she even fucking get there?
I'm asking the same questions.
Maybe it wasn't that far, maybe he was just tripping so hard the guy was just going around the block.
Running up the meter.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, I remember now. It's because he said the destination out loud, like after coitus.
Come on, man. Somebody can tell me their fucking home address, and until I punch into the phone, I ain't finding you.
Oh, you're going to this general area? I know exactly where you're going.
Do you think I've got cunt written on my forehead?
And in plain Arial font, just on his forehead.
Honestly, pretty brilliant as far as...
I feel like as they were editing this, you hear the taka-taka on the keyboard. He just goes over to the other directors like, huh, is that edgy enough? No, put cunt there. Oh, he's not Jason Statham, but you know.
I feel like the director at this point in time called up his buddy Edgar Wright, and he was like, "Hey, I got a funny idea for this one little thing. Should I do this?" And Edgar Wright's like, "Yeah, do that. I'd do that. Let's do that."
Oh, I thought Edgar Wright would be like, sorry, I can't talk. I'm too busy being talented.
Damn. What is talented, though, is the way that Jason Statham single-handedly clears out this entire warehouse full of baddies. Squibs are going fucking crazy. It's raining men as they fall off the fire escape. We get an upskirt shot. I got no complaints.
Just everything a movie needs. But maybe it needs more of my ass.
Yeah, so we find out she's like, "I had to come and see if you were telling the truth." They try and scurry away, get out of there, and she drops her bag or something while they're getting shot at, and she's like, "Oh, no, hold on, I've got to take my birth control." "Come on, you stupid fucking bitch!"
Exactly. I just, like, at that point, like, Jason Statham just, like, picked her up by the scruff and just chucked her in the banana car.
Oh, yeah. To me, I was like, oh, shit, it's like the Reliant Robin.
Yeah, right there at that point in the movie, I realized, like, oh, this is where they ran out of money. They just had, like, 2 rentals in some jackass car that they bought for $500, and they're trying to make a chase scene out of it. Like, through most of it, they're not even being shot at. Like, even, like, the other cars, they get flipped and turned upside down. Like, the last guy has a shotgun, and he's not even using it. He just gets dispatched.
No, he's not using it whatsoever. But he's probably very distracted by the fact that old girl is edging fucking Jason Statham the entire time they're driving.
Oh, he's just, like, aiming down sights. He's like, man, this is better than pornography.
Yeah, he's like, "So you were telling the truth. So the poison?" And he's like, "Yeah." And then she's like, "All right, I'm going to give you a little bit of roadhead right now." And he's like, "All right, I won't say no to that. All right, come on." "No, we're getting shot at. Stay down, stay down."
And he's like, oh.
But she consciously doesn't finish because she's like, "Why? So you can fall asleep like you always do?" Starts wiping her mouth, looks all satisfied with herself. And he's just like, "Oh, well, fucking goddamn it, hell, I'm going to rage drive now."
Yes, fucking Nicolas Cage drive angry. Oh,
I mean, I feel like in movie logic, that could have been the cure. Just the hell with it.
Why not? Yeah, sure, go for it.
Sucks the poison out.
No, he just has to spend the rest of his life just like blue balled.
Oh,
I'd rather just
that's rough.
die, you know?
We get to Doc Yoakum's house, and let me just say, what kind of friend do these people have that I'm missing out on? That when you open the door, they're like, "Oh, hey, bud, you want some meth?"
Like, the next several scenes are kind of, they don't really matter.
No.
The first thing we come to, he stops at a hardware store and he's like, "I can't feel my knee." So he hammers some nails into his knee. Then he stops at his good friend Doc Yoakum's house. He gets himself an IV with saline, ephedrine, and meth.
Oh, just a wee bit, you know, something for the road.
Yeah. Now, you're not better. You're still fucked. You're going to die, but you've got about another hour left. So
That's fine. Like, this whole thing is just to get him in a black suit and just basically just be John Wick.
Yep, I got John Wick written down right here.
And in the next scene, when he's approaching the final boss fight, everything from here until he actually gets to the boss fight is completely useless. He goes into a bathroom and he's just, you know, situates himself. He takes like a 9-minute elevator ride where he just speaks to like every voice in his head.
It's fucking weird.
It doesn't match the rest of the movie at all. I feel like they were trying to do something fancy, and I'm just like, get the fuck on with it. I just want to see some shit. Not this shit. Just go be extra again.
This is actually what I would consider the video game scene from the beach. Just because it's so like out of place and weird that it's just disconnected from everything else.
Why would you suddenly try to be artsy a fucking hour and 20 in of an hour and 26-minute movie?
Yeah.
No kidding.
No reason. In fact, the better choice would just be like, oh, he's just going to be purple now. And then whatever, he'd just be purple.
Dude, yes, zero explanation. He's just like, the guy in the elevator says, "You're purple." And he's like, "What?" And then, like,
he's like, "You're right.
And he's just purple.
I am. I always was.
You can call me Grimace the Assassin.
Yes.
Look at me purple ass." It keeps
Look
going
at
back.
these McNuggets.
Ew.
Oh. So he gets up there. This whole thing was supposed to be a deal, a trade. He was going to get the antidote in exchange for the little necklace that the bad guy gave him.
Yeah,
the bad guy's brother gave him from his neck that was dead.
And once more, clear a trap, but here we are.
Yep.
Did you guys catch the celebrity cameo as one of the guards was a famous, extremely famous Star Wars personality.
Go on.
Did I?
Star Killer from The Force Unleashed.
Oh, the
Yeah.
yeah.
No.
Yeah, he was there. I was like, hey, that's Star Killer.
No, I was preoccupied by Jason Statham pointing finger guns at the bad guy and being absolutely convinced that was going to work.
It did. He finger banged him.
It does work. He finger bangs you into his love.
No, I thought he was just going to be so absolutely jacked at that point that, like, in his mind, because we went through that stupid elevator sequence, in his mind, there is no gun. It's just an extension of himself. So when he points the finger gun, that's the actual gun. But that was a little too clever. It just turns out his buddy showed up because he saved that dude's life, and now he's got, like, an army behind him.
Oh yeah, we did have one little scene that it seemed like didn't matter, but now it matters because they're like, shit, we need a way to get him some additional backup because he can't do this all on his own, especially when he's tripping balls, right? Let's bring in the triads from Hong Kong. They can finish this, I guess.
Yeah, we just need something because he can't do anything by himself. Oh, by the way, helicopter.
Yeah, there's a
Man.
little bit of a gunfight going on. There's grenades and shit. Somebody gets a hand cut off again. I don't know.
The fingers getting blown off was pretty fucking gruesome. I was like, ooh, because they just all three go flying into the air.
Yeah. I mean, that's a standout bit. The main baddie throws one of his subordinates on a grenade, making him think like he was out of the way of a grenade. He's like, oh, thanks, boss. Kaboom! He turns into jam. Pretty standout, but like, it's actually a little bit of a mess. There's a lot of fucking shit going on in such a small space, and it communicates it entirely poorly.
There is one little interaction before all this that it got a little chuckle out of me. Statham is just talking about, because Carlito and Ricky are both there. I guess they're teaming up now, and he's talking to Ricky. He's like, well, I guess you're just decided to be Carlito's little bitch and all that. And he's like, I'm nobody's little bitch. Carlito's like, sit down and shut the fuck up. And he's just like, okay, baby, I'm sorry.
Yeah, every time he raises his voice, it's just like a baby crying.
Then a little bit later, he's like, I'm nobody's bitch. Well, who's the bitch now after he shoots Carlito? Ooh, little turn on him. So now it's just down to Ricky and Statham, and they're in a helicopter.
There's only one logical way to end this, and they do exactly what I would have wanted in this situation. We get Dwight Yoakam doing a sweet cover of Free Falling by Tom Petty as the two men tumble through the sky, and he breaks Mr. Worldwide's neck, this unmasked Rey Mysterio-looking motherfucker, and sends him about his way before calling Eve to lead a heartfelt message of love, respect, and responsibility, not to mention growth, just before he smashes onto a car.
That actually ends the movie. The movie just fucking stops. But I did kind of enjoy him just trying to, like, humanize his whole experience. Like, he learned something. He's like, baby, you and I love you, and this movie could have used a lot more of my ass. But, we had something and I believed in it. And I just want you to hear me crash into the ground at a really high speed.
The helicopter scene by itself is, honestly, it's pretty fun because, they're jostling for, like, leverage there or something. It's basically the last two guys at the end of a Royal Rumble, and then it ends up just being fucking the Bret Hart Lex Luger year when they both go over the top at the same time. And then it's just like, oh, I'm going to break your neck in the middle of the air, just, like, falling through the sky. No parachute. Pretty cool.
And then that's it. The movie ends. He crashes into a car, flops on the ground, and you hear a heartbeat stop. Credits. And then some bullshit music plays that reminds me of like Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
See, I thought the important thing to focus on was not the heart, but the fact that he blinked. That is indicating to me, oh, there's going to be a sequel!
Oh, shit. No, it is shit. I couldn't fucking finish it.
I think I saw it in theaters, and I don't remember it, honestly. I expect that it's the same movie.
Well, hey, if you want to hear us bitch about Crank Too High Voltage, tell us in the comments below.
I enjoyed this movie. Whenever I was watching it, I was just thinking to myself, this is, we've said it before, a time capsule, but this is literally just Grand Theft Auto on film. I'm playing from fucking the opening to the end of a mission, and all I gotta do is be fucking so extra that it doesn't even matter. And I smiled through it. My son watched it with me, and by the end of it, he goes, I don't know whether I loved it or I hated it, but I laughed. And that was his review, so I'll use that.
That's not bad. I liked it a little less. I don't know. I just kind of saw right through it. I can see like these little bits of brilliance, but I don't know if they're like meant to be there or if they're accidental. The idea itself is solid. I love it to death, but the execution is so poor. And, people are like, oh, well, it's a low-budget movie. What do you expect? This is the movie that you kind of, like, start out with or something like that, and you come back later and improve upon it, but, like, that just never happens. There are some funny bits in this movie, whether they be intentional or not, but as a whole, it's just not, I don't know. It just didn't age well.
Oh, it didn't age well, but I still had a really good time. I mean, this movie's not great, but I still had a great time, honestly, almost through the whole thing. There is a lull around, like, the hour 20 mark or something, just before the big, the final boss fight scene. But overall, it's kind of a thrill ride, and it's a goofy one. It doesn't take itself too seriously. It's not a good movie, but it was fun as hell, and better than I remembered it being, honestly.
Well, there you have it. That's Crank. If you have any strong feelings about the movie or the show, leave them in the comments section below.
Make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons. Be sure to bash the little bell icon down there, too, so you don't miss what we've got brewing up next.
Get out there and follow us on social media. You can literally find us anywhere. Give us a shot. If not, you're going to send Eric into an adrenaline-fueled rampage during the next review where he does nothing, regardless of who the actor is, but sound like Jason Statham.
I'll fucking do it.